morning. It's Friday at 6 a.m. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. Yeah, a lot of excitement. We're going to check in with Melanie Wingo coming up because that is the buzzy place to be today.
Got a lot of sports going on. Friday night football and all kinds of good stuff going. 6 a.m. Let's go find out what the forecast looks like for all of those events. I'll give you a hint. It's cool out there.
It is crisp and cool. In fact, one of our coolest mornings we've had in quite a while. We're down to the 30s right now in downtown Sacramento underneath a clear sky, starlit out there, and you also can see as you get ready to see that moon, it's actually dipping in the sky. It's setting right now at this point, but it was bright. It was bold for my early risers that got after the start of the day just about an hour ago. Right now, 39 degrees. Winds are calm. We've got some freezing fog up around the Truckee area, but the valley at this point looking nice and clear in terms of visibility. It's going to stay quite cool as you get the kids out the door this morning to school, 7-8 o'clock time frame. They're going to want to bundle it up as temperatures will stay in that upper 30s range. We're in the mid 50s by 10 a.m., moving up to the upper 60s eventually by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is quite a cool morning, especially in the valley, Delta, and the Sierra. You've had little change in the foothills as you're waking up in Placerville and Auburn, but yeah, you feel that shock to the system stepping out the door. It's 7 degrees cooler in both Stockton and Modesto this morning. Here's the Valley Planner. The rundown for the day ahead will still be quite cool, even at 9 o'clock in the morning if you have to run an errand or go to an appointment. 46 degrees in the valley, low 60s by lunchtime, daytime highs pushing into the upper 60s. We have wind that will start to climb as we head through your Saturday. I'll talk more in detail about that wind coming up in just a bit. 6:02 is the time. Brian, what are we chatting about on the roadways?
Well, if you're planning any travel through the Sierra right now, the CHP has warned that there is some freezing fog just east of Truckee in and around this is the truck scales there just east of Truckee. So watch out for that. You can see some of the fog hanging over the area, some chilly temperatures up there. Here in the valley, traffic is light, not a lot to talk about. We've got nice smooth sailing on Interstate 80. This is a live look through Greenback Lane there. Highway 50 looking good on that stretch as well. And on the Cap City Freeway, a stalled vehicle over to the side, not causing any delays there. And over the top, no issues to report. 5 and 99 looking good through Elk Grove into downtown, and I-80 all the way out through the Bay Area. No problems to report, along with Highway 4 and 12. Just checked on that Bay Area ride if you're heading in that direction. And then 5 and 99 through Stockton. Again, all in the green, no delays there. You can see the 99 corridor, 13-minute ride there, 14-minute ride on 205, 580, a 26-minute ride. And as you saw on the map, we're sailing here in Sacramento. Back to you.
All right, thank you.
Well, this morning schools are closed once again in Lewiston, Maine, as the manhunt for a mass murderer is continuing.
KCRA 3's Erin Heft has been monitoring the overnight developments, and she joins us with that from the newsroom. Good morning.
Good morning. Tens of thousands remain in lockdown as a now multi-state manhunt continues for the suspected gunman Robert Card. The Wednesday night shooting now being described as Maine's worst mass murder in their state's history. Police continue to urge thousands in Lewiston and the surrounding area to secure their homes and vehicles. Schools remain closed as the hunt for Robert Card continues. Authorities overnight say a note was found at the suspect's home and is currently being analyzed, though at the present time there is no known motive. Of the 18 killed, not all are yet identified and not all ages have yet been published, but at the moment the two youngest known victims are 11 and 14 years old. The families of the victims now learning some of their loved ones' last moments.
He died as a hero because he picked up a butcher knife from somewhere, as you know, he has all that stuff near the bar anyways, and he tried to go at the gunman to stop him from shooting anybody else. The gunman shot him twice through the stomach.
Flags across the nation remain at half staff as the country mourns the deadliest act of gun violence of 2023. Officials are reporting this as the 565th mass shooting in the United States this year. Teo.
All right, Erin, thank you so much. You can follow the very latest developments and learn more about the suspect and the victims on the KCRA 3 app and at kcra.com. Make sure to turn on push alerts to get news as it breaks.
Well, the Highway Patrol has recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars of stolen merchandise in Stockton. Officers with the Highway Patrol's Retail Theft Task Force raided a home on Brendo Lane just south of Hammer Lane. And here's what they found: stolen goods from more than half a dozen stores. CHP says that the items have a retail value of about $1 million. Some of the most popular items appear to be clothing like jeans and shoes. San Joaquin County DA office says that they do suspect the home was being used as a fence for thieves to sell all those stolen items.
They would go ahead and go sell it at flea markets throughout the area. That is what was happening. They would be paying pennies on the dollar to the people who steal it in the first place. and then they would go ahead and try and turn a profit and sell it for multiple times what they paid for it.
A 52-year-old man who was believed to live in that home was arrested on a felony warrant that was related to retail theft.
Well, developing story now. Attorney General Rob Bonta announcing a man in Placer County faces homicide charges in connection to a fentanyl death. Bonta says the unnamed suspect sold the fentanyl that killed a Rockland father last July. Department of Justice arrested the suspect this week in his car. When they found him, they say he had a number of drugs on him, including fentanyl. Bonta released a statement saying, quote, "This arrest must send a strong message to California communities. Those who knowingly distribute dangerous fentanyl will be held accountable." New this morning, if you are flying out of Sac International Airport, officials are warning of a peak parking problem.
And this is a problem that is not unique to Friday mornings anymore. KCRA 3's Mike DeSalle is joining us outside Terminal A. The creep has been going, apparently.
And Deirdre, I know that you know as well as I do, there used to be the old thinking here at the airport that you could arrive here less than an hour before your flight, park right across the street, walk to the terminal, check in, and get to your flight, no problem at all. But look at this. Take a look on the left of your screen. That is a screenshot of the airport's parking app showing that on a Wednesday mid-morning, the hourly, the garage, and the daily lots were all full. They actually had to block them off. Airport officials say that this has been typical for Friday mornings for a while, but now parking near the terminal, anywhere near the terminal within less than a mile, is becoming a regular problem even on Thursday mornings, and as you saw, Wednesday mornings. Add in that there is currently a shortage of shuttle bus drivers, and all of those who are having to park out in the economy lot because they can't find a closer spot, well, the airport has a message to them, and that is add significant time to your check-in.
Yourself more than an hour to get to your plane. I know that's how the mentality used to be, but now we're expanding along with Sacramento, and we really can't tell you, emphasize enough to get here at least 2 hours before your flight.
And to put this issue into numbers, the airport says it is averaging more than 100,000 passengers a month. To be clear, with 18,000 parking spots available at the airport officials say it's not an issue of not having enough parking, it's an issue of where you may end up having to park. And if it's Friday mornings in about 3 hours from now, likely, if the pass is any indication, the garage right across the street, the daily lot next to that, and the hourly lot over by Terminal B, they'll all be full. Something to think about if you're heading out to the airport, especially in these mid-morning hours. Live outside Terminal A, Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. And the airport does say that it's currently working on building a new parking garage with an additional 5,500 spots. That sounds great, right? Problem is it's not going to be ready for another 2 years, so the challenge will continue.
Certainly look forward to that. All right, new report shows the PG&E's residential electricity prices are more than twice the national average. This may not come as news to you. It comes just as utility requests another rate increase from California regulators. Now, the report was released by the Public Advocate's Office at the California PUC. According to the data, PG&E's average residential electric rates went up 38% over the last 3 years and 92% over the last decade.
We are very concerned about the general trend of the direction that rates are going and how much faster they're increasing beyond inflation.
Campbell says the high rates are due in large part to PG&E's spending on wildfire mitigation, work to strengthen transmission lines, and rooftop solar incentives. The utility company has said its latest rate increase request was mostly for the long-term investment of burying thousands of miles of power lines. The California Public Utilities Commission proposed 2 other options and could vote on those next month.
Well, Sacramento Kings fans are going to be out at Doco tonight for the season opener against their Northern California rivals, the Golden State Warriors.
And downtown businesses are looking forward to cashing in on the Kings' newfound success. KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo's live outside there in Doco with more on what fans can expect.
Well, they should expect, they're hoping anyway, that the beam will be lit on Golden One Center. Right now, the beam is out, but a little bit later this evening. Of course, those fans hoping that the switch will be flipped on the beam. Earlier this week, the Kings did get to light the beam as they saw that, road wind that happened earlier this week. Kings fans watching the away game at local bars and restaurants here earlier this week, bringing a boost to businesses downtown. That positive economic impact expected to be amplified tonight as the Kings are in town, and it's a Friday. And of course, there's that massive fan momentum behind the Kings after their stellar 2022-23 season. And just in time for the start of the new basketball season, there are some new businesses that have opened their doors. There's Butcher and Barrel on K Street. There's also the new Tom's Watch Bar in downtown Commons, or DOCO as it's called, the area surrounding Golden One Center. So the excitement right now is certainly among the fans, but also the businesses here that will no doubt see a boost later tonight. Reporting live near DOCO, Melanie Winko, KCRA 3 News.
And this season, the Kings are actually celebrating 100 years as a franchise, the oldest in the NBA. 10 years ago, Sacramento had to fight to keep the team in the capital city. You can still watch our KCRA 3 documentary, Game On, Fight for the Kings. It's available to stream right now on Very Local.